All right. Time to record another episode of the Nocturnal Critic Show. Oh man, I ain't even like this movie that much. Oh well, it's part of the game. All right, let's do this. The Banishing, a horror drama directed by Christopher Smith, who's also known for his horror films, which I haven't seen many of, but I have seen Triangle, which was released back in 2009, and I gotta admit, I kinda enjoyed that movie. And the film stars Jessica Brown Findlay, I hope I didn't butcher her last name, also Anya McKenna Bruce, John Heffernan, and Sean Harris. And the film is set in the 1930s and follows a young reverend, his wife and daughter, who move into a manor with a horrifying secret. So the film seems to be just relatable enough to be able to use the phrase based on a true story, but the film is very much loosely based on the events and decides to create its own horror story instead of using the real reported events surrounding the location in real life. And to me, that seemed like a big mistake because the real events that I read about surrounding this mansion was actually way more interesting and intriguing than the events that they decided to pursue instead in the film. And also, this movie actually had 3 different writers behind the screenplay, and at times I actually think that it shows because it seems like at certain points throughout the film, the story starts to clash, and you're like, man, maybe there were some issues in the writer's room during this, the creation of this film. I mean, it's clear that the film had great production quality behind it, along with some solid performances. And besides the generic story, the only thing I felt like was really off was the sound design. There were moments throughout the movie where there would be what I would consider to be jump scare audio, where there's an abrupt high-pitched sound or some quick bass that drops that hits, and there's literally nothing to correlate the sound with what's actually happening on screen. I mean, sometimes it felt like it may have just been out of sync, which is still a problem, like there's no real excuse for that, but other times it just felt like it was just carelessly thrown in the film, and it just didn't work. Certain points where it's supposed to be a jump scare, someone's jumping out, and the sound goes off way before that, like 5 seconds before, 5 seconds after, and it's not in sync at all. And it seems like, I'm pretty sure they knew this and just, I guess they were okay with it. Overall, what we're presented with here as a horror seems so copy and pasted from other films of a similar genre. This was just boring most of the time, and during the moments where you are really expecting the story to truly go somewhere or introduce some sort of interesting, unexpected twist, it just fails, and you might find yourself waiting for this shit to end so you can hopefully find a better choice of something to watch. So I'm giving The Banishing a 5 out of 10. I mean, if you enjoy period horrors like these, then it does the typical job at being one, but it fails on the lower end of the spectrum, especially when you compare it to its peers in the same genre of period horrors like The Others or Sleepy Hollow. And it honestly just turns into one of those films that you can just add to the stack of throwaway horrors for this time period. Like it's a waste almost. But there you have it. If you enjoyed the content, you know what to do. Thank you for watching.